kit. The bragging rights were well and truly earned on Friday night under the floodlights at Craven Cottage. But I know that you're very much, it was one game, it was 3 points, and there's a really important game coming up tomorrow night.
Absolutely, that's exactly what we said to the players after the game in what was a pretty buoyant dressing room, I'm sure you can imagine. The bragging rights are important for our fans. For the players, that game's gone, we move on, we focus on the games in hand, games coming up. And Wolves on Tuesday night is a big game, it'll be very tough for us. We move on from that, then on to Charlton on Sunday, come thick and fast. If we play like we did Friday night, we'll do well. But replicating that is difficult, and people need to stay motivated and driven and have this small amount of success, from Friday night, and take it and build on it. We've been threatening to give a performance like that all season, and it's due to the hard work that's gone in all of pre-season, season to date. And so it's it's a testament to a lot of people and the hard work they've put in, and obviously to the players who've been excellent. But we move on, we roll our sleeves up. We're going to have to fight and scrap tomorrow night against a strong, resilient Wolves side, and we're going to have to move the ball as quickly as we did the other night and let our football do the talking, with us making sure we do our defensive side of the job properly as well.
Do you think that this is a testimony, as you said, to the hard work, but the amount of time now that the players have had to work together, to gel, to understand each other? You talked very much about the Ross-Musa partnership and the way that they're now learning about each other's games. How far away do you think you are from kind of nailing that and it being the Fulham team you want it to be?
Well, my two sort of big things really in football is balance, or get the balance right throughout the squad. Balance can be the number of right footers, left footers, things as simple as that, but then the balance between youth and experience, the balance between having pace and power and craft and guile and all these different things, but you need to get that balance right. That's massive, and you need the right people. That's essential. And then once you get all that side of it properly done, it's then cohesion, and that only comes through time and people working together and get to know each other's styles of play and weapons. Really, I speak about players having their weapons and what they can really bring to the team and how they can hurt the opposition. And so we do a lot of work on working on people's areas of improvement, if you like. But I'm a big believer, if we get people in because of their strengths, let's really maximise and utilise them as well. And once people get to know, Ryan Fredericks is a prime example who quickest thing I've seen.
Rapid.
Players start to understand him. You put the ball 10 yards further in front of Ryan Fredericks than you would any other player on the pitch because he's that quick. But you get to know that, and so you pass the ball differently to Ryan than you would do to maybe someone else. Ben Pringle wants it probably to his feet so he can put one of his fantastic crosses in the box. So it's different. It's really nailing it down, and that comes with time and getting to know each other and that cohesion, and it will get better and better and stronger. Our job was to get the right people in. The people in the process, are paramount to then lead into the end result. So I'm delighted with the people, the players and squad and staff, and I'm delighted with the way we work. We work very hard, but there's a lot of thought goes into it as well, a lot of science behind what we do, why we do it, and I'm pleased with that. And you put those two things together, you will be successful. You will win games of football, and 3 and 4 at the moment in the league. That's hopefully we're on a decent run. We can continue this and onwards and upwards.
Because of the way that the Wolves game did get changed, it's almost like a game in hand. And so those, if it was to be 3 points tomorrow night, really will cement Fulham into the top half of the table on the cusp of a top 6 position, which I know is the aim. You talk about motivation. Surely there's no better motivation than that.
No, it's great, but it's again if that happens, which hopefully it will, and we're all set for that to be the case. We've still achieved nothing. We're in a nice position, great, okay, but it's come the end of the season that's important, and where we finish, where we end up then, and it would be just another step to where we want to get to. Till the final ball is kicked of our season. I'm not going to rest on my laurels, and I won't allow the players or the staff to either. A little bit of success makes you hungry for more. And I'm still waking up at 5 in the morning, but thinking different things now, but I'm still hungry and driven, and I'm desperate for this club to do well.
Very early days, but Wolves seem to be suffering a little bit with injuries as well. I know that you went to see them against Preston on Saturday afternoon. What are you expecting from them? I know it's going to be tough. They're still a big physical team.
They are, and you know, Kenny's a very experienced, wily manager, and you know, he sets his teams out. They'll be organised and strong, and they've got some creative, good players that can hurt us as well. So you know, again, we got to be at our best, and you know, turning up won't be enough. We've got to turn up and approach the game in the same way as we did on Friday night. Everyone's got to be properly switched on and focused on the job in hand, because there's other people waiting in the wings who will take their place if not, and that's the sort of message I want to get across to the players, and I think they're seeing that now, you know, and it's really healthy, I think, and really good. The biggest problem I want our fans to have is come the end of the season to who to pick as player of the season. So I want it to be like it was Friday night, where it's an excellent team performance week in, week out, and that's what I think we're capable of doing. That's the environment that I've tried to create here, along with the staff, and that's the environment that the players are loving and thriving in.
Musa got man of the match on Sky, but the fans' reaction was there were 11 men of the match out there on Friday evening. How important were the fans? They silenced the QPR travelling contingent, of which there were many, and they really made Craven Cottage an atmosphere that I haven't seen for a very long time.
No, well, that's, you know, the atmosphere that I spoke about when I did the pre-game press, and that's the type of atmosphere that I used to experience as a player here. So I know what this crowd can be like. They need to believe, and they need something to cheer about. You know, now they were right up for it to start the game. As it happened, we scored within the first couple of minutes, which is fantastic, and then went from strength to strength. But saying that, the defining moment for me was at 1-0 when they had a really good chance. Their only one real chance of the game, in my book, and suddenly if they score that, it could have been it would have been a different outcome, but how different, who knows, you know. I would hope then that even at that we would have still been the better team and gone on and won it, but then the crowd would have been even more important to keep faith with the team, keep backing us. As it happened, like I say, the chance went into the side netting, and we went and ran away with the game. Should have scored a lot more goals in the end, but there are these defining moments, and early part of the season they probably weren't going our way. They were working against us. We were doing the same work with pretty much the same group of players. But it's funny how football can go sometimes. But you know, listen, we're doing okay at the moment, but we need to make sure we keep, like I say, keep talking about the focus, and keep doing what we're doing and what's given us success, and don't get away from that.
And just a final word on injuries. I know that Scott Parker plays tonight in the under-21s in Derby, as does George Williams. How is Jazz Richards doing?
Jazz is excellent. He's absolutely flying today. He's on the side of the pitch, doing his running. He was running alongside Matty Smith. I've got to say, Jazz was going a little bit quicker than Big Matty, to be perfectly honest. But Matt's working his absolute socks off as well, and he's coming on really well. And Jazz is very, very close. Won't be right for tomorrow, but he's looking really, really good. And Luke Garber also with the 21s this evening. I'm going to grab some lunch and jump in a car and drive up to Derby in a minute now. And it'll be good to see those three boys and some of the other lads we got in the 21s as well.
We wish you luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.